Right here at the bottom of this panel, the layers panel, you have quite a number of different options. You have a link option to like link different layers together. You have an FX that stands for effects. And then you have the add layer mask. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna add a layer mask. And now I can use B for brush. So let me add that to our list of shortcuts. B for brush, and the increase, decrease size of brush, which is the brackets. All right, so now I have my brush, but what I need it to be is just black and white. Black actually removes the color. So now I just clicked X, just like in Illustrator. Remember, if you click X, it changes which color is active. If you do Shift X, it changes which color is active as well. So I just clicked X, trying to find my mouse here. If you can't see it there, I can't see it on my screen either. It's very small. Okay, I found it. So I'm gonna make my brush bigger, so I'm just clicking on that close bracket. And now I'm gonna paint. I'm gonna paint in black. So anything that is 100% black, it's gonna be deleted. The cool thing about masks is that if you use any grays, that will create a transparency. Okay, it's gonna create an in-between, which is really nice. Let's say, oh, I don't wanna delete, for some reason I don't wanna delete the part of this table. If I go over here and get us to like, let me try to get like a 50% black. Now that deleted it or painted it in 50%. So if I were to copy and paste this over something, it would have that transparency. So 100% black is what I want. And then I can go back to painting it. You know, I try not to get too close. My main tip here is Control Z is gonna be your best friend. Do things in small strokes. Instead of like painting a big area, paint it and let go of the mouse every little bit, just in case you paint something you don't want. Then it doesn't end up that you've done all of this and then, oh shoot, I got the table. And then if you do Control Z, you get rid of that whole thing. But you can paint it in white too. It's actually, masks are pretty forgiving, which is really nice. So I'm just gonna do like a rough pass around, zoom in, and then you can start making the brush smaller. Another thing to keep in mind, if you hold Shift while on a brush and you just click, it creates straight lines, so that can be very helpful. So let me just hold Shift over here, hold Shift over here. So hopefully you can see the appeal, right? So let's say, oh, I'm doing this, ba-da-da. Oh no, I painted that leg, I didn't want to. I can press X and then paint it in white because it brings it back, right? That's the idea. So I can continue doing here. Sorry, I kind of got a heart, kind of a detailed one. It's not going to be the best chopping job I've ever done, but of course, these are not the only ways to chop things. Cutting hair out from a background can be difficult, especially if it's curly or frizzy hair, because all the background that seeps through the hair. But there are a lot of videos out there with different techniques. So depending on what kind of images you'll be working with, you can become more specialized. I don't know, however, how artificial intelligence is going to affect the selection of images like this, because a lot of people have been working on this like for a long time. So I bet AI is going to speed up this process much more. So for example, over here where the colors kind of bleed together, is best to go over with the mask, because then the computer, it has a hard time distinguishing between what is chair, what is rug, because all it sees is gray, right? Because that was one of the big things before AI has gotten so good, is that computers can't really distinguish the elements of an image, right? All it sees is the pixel information that an image has, regardless of what the subject of the image is. But that is slowly, or actually fast, changing as this technology progresses. All right, cool beans. So I'm gonna, now that I have my chair selected and I can check there how my mask's looking, I am going to right click on my mask and apply layer mask. Sometimes I'll actually duplicate the whole layer, turn that layer off, and then apply my mask. Just in case I missed something, I can always go back and fix it. So now that I applied my mask, you can see that I don't have any masks anymore, and that chair is transparent. So if I can save as, Command-Shift as, I can save this as TIFF, and chair no background. I'll save it to my desktop, and transparency, okay. Cool, done. All right, so my chair is nice and cut. I can also select it like this and move it around. Yes? Yes, yes. If you want them to be printed, yes. If you want them to be for the web, I would say PNG. All right, because TIFF images aren't as compressed, so they will be heavier images. So it is better for something like, let's say, oh, I'm making a chair booklet for like Ashley Furniture, right? Then that would be 300 DPI and all of that. Cool. So that was